So you work on tax policy and so why would you care about tax policy as an individual?
So I had grown up thinking that I was, essentially middle class. I lived in a suburb of Rochester, New York. My grandfather worked at a paper mill in upstate New York, and we would visit there and go for summers in Glens Falls, New York. And at age 16, they took us up into the woodlands, and they said that paper mill where your grandfather works, it's actually been owned by the family for now 5 generations. We were the 5th generation. So it was founded in 1865 by my great-great-grandfather. It came as a big surprise and sort of had to think about it. They also said, don't tell anyone about it, don't talk about it. So I spent, the next 16 years or so not telling people, not talking about the fact that I had this wealth or income. I got connected to United for a Fair Economy, originally called Share the Wealth. But 2 out of 3 of those words were threatening to people. Everyone was comfortable with but share and wealth made people uncomfortable. But United for a Fair Economy, a friend of mine, Chuck Collins, who was also an inheritor, was one of the co-founders of United for a Fair Economy. And we had this idea of organizing wealthy people to say that that they didn't need more tax advantages.
There's obviously some discomfort about talking about wealth, even in a broader sense, not in an individual sense, but talking about wealth, talking about sharing wealth. Do you find that sort of discomfort or wanting not to think about it translates into taxes and talking about tax policy and sort of the distribution of wealth there?
It's interesting because when we started Responsible Wealth, we weren't sure exactly which topics we were going to take on. We just had this idea that we needed to have a voice of wealthy people to balance off the voice of greedy wealthy people. And a lot of people said, don't talk about taxes. Taxes aren't sexy and people just make people uncomfortable and no one really wants to talk about them. So it's a non-starter. So that was 17 years ago, and that's been most of what we've done with the Responsible Wealth Project. And a lot of United for a Fair Economy's work as well has been focused on taxes. And I think it makes sense to talk about taxes because they're an important driver of inequality, and they're also, we do a lot of social policy through taxes. We raise revenue to pay for government, but we also encourage certain behaviors and discourage certain behaviors through taxes, and so it's an important topic, I think. The bigger question that we've looked at is who should pay taxes. Who should wealthier folks pay more taxes, or should working folks, or along the spectrum, should we have progressive taxes or should we have regressive taxes in both at the federal level and at state and local level. What we encourage at United for a Fair Economy and Responsible Wealth, we're really encouraging, working for progressive taxes, meaning you should pay more at a higher rate as your income goes up.